Ready, start. Hello everyone. Thank you for coming by to this one such off schedule stream. I know. Well, I just wanted to quickly talk about what was going on today. But I didn't want to do it tomorrow while getting chased by Michael Myers. I thought that might be a little weird. Yeah. I know. So let me just talk about the day as it happened today. So as you could probably tell by my late night tweet, I was awake for a long time trying to fall asleep. And I fell asleep somewhere around like 6:50 a.m. And some 10 minutes later, my mama came into my room, which is odd considering I sleep at my grandma's house. And she was like, "Ida, your grandma fell." And I was like, "What? What happened? Oh no!" And so I clambered out of bed and I had to put on my clothes because, I sleep without clothes. And I was like, "Oh my god!" Well, I was struggling to get my pants on the right way, and I ran outside barefoot. So what happened was that my grandma slipped in the garden. She fell. She tripped. And she fell on the grass. And she was just sitting there. And she'd been calling out, and my mama heard her and came to help her. And so my mama and I stood there, I with my bare feet, and we tried to lift her up, but we couldn't. She was like, "Oh no, it hurts, it doesn't work." And my mama wanted to keep trying, but I was like, "No, don't move her. Like, if it hurts that much that she can't stand up, we should not move her under any circumstance." And I'm kind of glad that I already had experience from when she had her stroke, because this time I was very calm when calling the ambulance. I was like, "Yeah, grandma, just I'm gonna be calling the ambulance because we don't know what's broken or what's hurting right now, so it's probably better that we don't move you, and especially if you can't even get up, you won't be able to walk either." So I was calling the ambulance on my phone while also going around the house, collecting everything she'd need for a hospital stay. Yeah. And also charging my phone, because for some reason whenever this happens, my phone is on like 2%, and I don't know why. Yeah, long story short, the ambulance came, and they had to transport her, but they gave her like intravenous painkillers. I know, very strong ones. And they forgot to tell. I guess they didn't forget. They just didn't see it necessary to mention the side effects of this painkiller. So my grandma was sitting there and suddenly she goes, "Oh, I can't see anymore. I think I'm gonna die." And I know, like when someone suddenly loses their vision, that's a bad thing, right? So I let out a sound that I can only describe as dog being kicked. I literally let out like a yeah. I know, and the ambulance, how do you call it? How do you call it in English? Ambulance woman. Ne. She turned to me and she was like, "Oh no, that's just the side effect of the painkillers." And I was like, "Wow, I did not know that painkillers could make you lose your vision." Paramedic, yeah. Paramedic. Yeah. EMT paramedic, yeah. No, I did not know that painkillers could do that. So, I would have appreciated some warning. Yeah, but then my grandma was very very zooted from the painkillers, and she talked a little bit funny while they were loading her onto the gurney. Um, yeah, she was like, "Oh no, I can't do this anymore. Bye bye, bye bye." And I had to laugh. But yeah, my mama was still in her like bathrobe. Ne, ito. And so I was the one once again who went to the hospital. And like the paramedic lady asked me like, "Oh, what medicines does she take?" And I like started listing off like this much 100 milligram, this 40 milligram, this one 30 milligram, you know. And then when it was time to go in the ambulance, my mama was like, "Oh, can she come with grandma? Can she go with?" Um, and the paramedics, they looked at each other and then they looked at me and they were like, you want her to go?" And then they looked at each other again and then they looked at me and then they looked at each other, and then one of them was like, sure, she can come. Um, and, and I thought that was weird at the time, but you know, I was thinking about other things. I was thinking about other things at the time. Um, so then I got to ride in the front of the ambulance with the ambulance driver lady. And she was like, "Oh, so like, are you on like school the holiday right now, or like, wait, how old are you?" And I was like, "Oh, it's this again." So I was like, "I'm 22," and she went, "Oh." I thought you were younger. That's why I was so surprised that you knew like all those medical terms and the names of the medicine. And I was like, "Yeah, it happens to me a lot." And she was like, "Oh, are you a medical student then?" And I was like, "No, I'm not." Yeah. Nah. My dog is arf arfin. One moment I gotta let him out. He's arf arfin. He craves the nightly air. Nah, but yeah, I got mistaken for a child again. It happens so often. I don't understand why. I don't think I look that young, but to be fair, they did also catch me in my pajamas, so I was very lucky that that day I'd worn pajamas that were like kind of okay to go outside in. I just wore like a large like sweater thing with a dog on it and like jogging pants. 네. I know, right? And then we went to the hospital. I sat with my grandma there for like 6 hours, while running on zero sleep. Yeah, when she had the stroke, you know, at least I had the adrenaline to carry me through. But in that case, I was more relaxed, so I was also more tired. 네, 또, I was US Maxing. That's the uniform of college students. And yeah, it was a cute dog slitter though. Yeah. And so, long story short, I don't really know how to say like the correct term, but I feel like you're gonna like understand what I mean. So long story short, she broke her hip on one side, and she had to get a prosthetic, like a joint replacement. Yeah. Again, she hasn't broken her hip before. She broke her spine before, but not her hip. That's new. Yeah. あの the good thing was that she got brought in when she hadn't eaten yet. Like, it happened so early in the morning that she hadn't eaten yet. Spine, yeah, but that was 2 years ago. ね and so they operated on her the same day. Yeah, they literally, it's already done. It's already done. They did it today. And now she's gonna have to stay in hospital for at least 5 days. And then afterwards do physical therapy. Yeah. ね、でも it's gonna maybe be a little bit hard for her because she won't be able to walk for a while. ね. Yeah. So, yeah, her operation went very well. So that's good. I'm glad. Yeah. And I was conked out sleeping at home while she was getting her surgery done. Yeah. Yeah, she's recovered. I talked to her on the phone. After she woke up again. And she sounds good. She's in good spirits. Nah. That's impressive. My aunt needed 3 weeks before a replacement. Yeah, sometimes they're slow, sometimes they're fast. Nah. でも, the good thing is it was, quote unquote, just her hip. But, better her hip than her spine or her head, Nah. But, obviously I was very worried. I was like, oh my god, what's happening? And I think the bad thing is that I have a habit of watching like medical TV shows. I used to be super into what's it called? Chicago Med for a long time. Yeah. Or like watching like those ambulance TV shows. So I know a lot of things that can apparently go wrong with the human body. And I was like, oh my god, what if the fall is cutting off her blood flow and she's gonna die? I was thinking like about a billion things that could happen even from a small fall. Yeah. No, good thing is that she got the operation. They did the replacement. Now it's just about recovery. Yeah, but I did get like some 4 hours of sleep during the afternoon. Obviously, I'll sleep tonight too. Yeah. Yeah, I ate too, which was a mistake. I got home from the hospital and I was like, yes, what do I need right now? Yes, I need ultra spicy noodle. I now currently regret having eaten ultra spicy noodle. It feels like my stomach is being dissolved from the inside. My tummy hurts. That was my fault. That's on me. ありがとう. Thank you, Sitsan. Adi, I'm gonna go ahead and say this because it's important. But when your grandmother recovers, you need to get her to walk. If she wants to walk, that's good. But my dad and grandma were talking about people who have broken hips don't want to walk. Yeah, I actually read about that. Is that you're supposed to walk as quickly as you can after that kind of accident because otherwise it'll be harder to recover your mobility. Yeah, and also obviously if you don't move, if you don't walk, it can lead to blood clots. Yeah. But she's gonna go into physical therapy. In Germany we call it Reha. It's after an accident you go into Reha, which is physical therapy. And they do all the practices with you. Nah. Hi, yeah. But now, I'm in pain. Because of the spicy noodle. I don't know what kind of devil was in me that decided now was a good time for the ultra spicy noodle. It was like even spicier than what I like usually tolerate, so I don't know what made me do that. Yeah, I don't know. Very devil, yeah. There was a very devil. There's two very devils inside me. One of them wants to eat spicy food. The other one of them was apparently passed out because I ended up eating spicy food. Oh, ding dong, doorbell. One moment. Mataku. Yeah, doorbell at this time. It was my mama. It was my mama. She went to restaurant and I asked her to bring me something to eat to settle my spicy stomach. And then she hit me with the after I waited for her for like 4 hours. For her to come back with the food. She was like, "Oh yeah, by the way, I didn't get any food for you." And I was like, "Could you not have told me that? Like 3 hours ago."
Thank you so much.
So I could have eaten something else, but I digress. But I digress. I know. Oh. Yeah, but this sneeze is very loud. So I got stirred up. でも、本当にありがとう. Thank you, Sit-san. And because they don't want to walk, they want to stay in bed all the time and eventually pass. This happened to my late grandfather last year after he broke his hip, and my dad were going every day to get him to walk, even though he didn't want to. Nah. Thank you for the advice. I'll definitely take it to heart and make her walk. Walk, walk, walk. Well, I shouldn't put her on my treadmill, but I'll try. I know. Also, 本当にありがとう. Thank you so much, Aseki. Vielen Dank. I hope everything goes well for Grandma and you, Airi. Don't forget to look after yourself while taking care of Grandma. I'll do my best. Yeah. Nah. I gotta get my grandma to do walkies with me. Nah. Also, arigato. Thank you. Big Spite. Happy 34 months. Wow. 2 months away from 3 years. She had 3 hours to tell you and she didn't. She did not. She did not. I called her 3 hours ago and I was like, "Mama, can you bring me food? Can you bring me this?" And then she just comes home and she was like, "Yeah, I didn't bring anything because, like, you know, like, that, I don't know, they weren't serving food anymore or something." And I was like, "Could you not have told me that 3 hours ago? Did you know I said that?" Regardless. I suppose me and my spicy stomach are, Nah. Just the two of us. We won't make it if we try. Nah. No. Yeah. That is roughly everything I wanted to say. Nah. Nah. Hi, do you have a big dream you'd like to make come true? Well, maybe one day, 100,000 subscribers, but it seems like a very far off dream. Maybe by the time I'm 80, I can have 100,000 subscribers, but certainly not before then. Um, yeah. Happy all is well besides Ari's stomach, yeah. Can't do anything about that, unfortunately. Wow. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. You're almost at 50k though, that's true. We're missing like 1.6 thousand subscribers until there. Yeah. Yeah, demo. I'm glad that things worked out better than I expected them to work out. No anti-acids? I don't think so. But I'll check. But I don't think so. Hi. Ne. I guess I'll go try to find some milk or something. You know how milk is supposed to help with spicy? If I drink a lot of milk, will it make my stomach better? I guess I'll have to find out. Hi. Almonds I don't have. I don't have almonds. I have. Nemo. Oh yeah, another thing I got mad at today, is my, while I was eating after we came home from the hospital, my mama was eating at the same time. And I was barely like halfway finished with my food when she finished hers. And then she looked at me and she was like, Airi, you're eating too much. While I had halfway finished, not even halfway finished my food. And I was like, what? What's that supposed to mean? You just ate your entire food and you ate more than me, and now you look at my half-eaten food and you're like, you're eating too much? What's that supposed to be, huh? Nah. Sarcasm? I don't think it was sarcasm. Yeah. I know. And after that, she went like, ugh, Adi, your entire face is so pimply. You've been eating so much sugar. And I was like, what? What? And so I looked in the bathroom mirror and I was like, oh my god, what's happening to my face? There's nothing on my face. I don't know what she's seeing. I was like, what happened? Oh my god. Did I break out overnight? There's nothing on my face. So I just don't know what that means, but oh well. Yeah. I'll see you guys tomorrow for the birthday. I'm just happy that, you know, things went better than I could hope they would. Hi. I'll see you guys tomorrow for fun, Dead by Daylight, okay? And I'll try to find something for my stomach. Ooh. I'll see you guys. 愛してる？ババババ。